Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2, the qualifying match for I Am Katowice 2020. A best of 5. Let me introduce, in the top right from Triumphant Song Gaming, it is Thank You, TY. Naming himself after his own initials, incredibly original. I don't know what he's naming himself after over on the bottom left side of the map. The Zerg player with the more second place GSL finishes than most people have ever even been to. The Zerg, now playing for Africa, the Korean streaming site, and their Starcraft 2 team, picking up new players. It is soO, also the reigning champion of I Am Katowice. An upset victor. Well, then again, whenever he wins a tournament, if he ever wins a tournament, it is an upset. Because he's supposed to get second place. He's supposed to get all the way to the end and then fall short. But that was his biggest win he's ever had in his entire career. I'm sure he's itching to repeat it. TY, what are you going to do? This is a rematch of yesterday, where TY, they played a best of 3, not a best of 5, but TY won 2-0. Honestly, just outplaying soO throughout the series. It wasn't a stomp, but it was definitely soO reacting to TY and not the other way around. Will soO do anything to take the initiative back, or will it be a repeat performance? First couple Zerglings come out. It is a pull first. soO's seemed to like this lately. It's not a cheese. It's just forces a different response out of Terran. Gives you that little bit of initiative. Jimmy, oh my god. Every time. This one anthem. The Zerglings are slipping around. When you go for the pull first, it forces the Reaper to stay close to home. You don't know exactly how many Zerglings they're going to invest in. There's a small chance it's followed up by something like roaches. And generally it keeps the Terran from poking at you in the early game as opposed to the other way around. You do sacrifice some time on a queen, the hatchery of course, a little bit of larva. But everything's a trade-off. Couple Hellions on the way. Barracks. Gonna move it a little because he likes that spot better. Slap a tech lab. Ba 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 ba. No tech? Why no tech lab? Because he's microing the Reaper. Interesting. Way to make me look dumb, TY. TY makes everyone look dumb. You know he's also a caster for GSL, but only on the days when he's not busy playing. Yeah. We're back to Battle Cruisers. Here we go. Fusion Core is on the way. He didn't do a single Battle Cruiser build against Zerg yesterday, but today he is back in form. The man, I'd say he is the biggest Battle Cruiser player in the world. Like, he loves them. He's been using them since what? Did you just run by? What? He's got 4 Hellions. soO, where are your drones? So this is very bad. Oh, he didn't even target fire the Herd Hellion. He's gonna lose not as many drones as you might have expected, but he gets a great scout here. He kills 7 drones. Meanwhile, Zerglings made that SCV have self-esteem issues. So the Hellions could have been way worse. I think TY was kind of surprised at the lack of resistance there as well. TY, not a player who's just going to YOLO in his Hellions every game, but, I mean, it came together so perfectly you had to give it a shot. Honestly, 7 drones is a little underwhelming for that commitment. Especially, like, it's not just that, well, he killed drones, but he lost the Hellions and he lost map control. No longer, like, 2 Hellions are, as I said, he's going to shut down a creep tumor, but 2 Hellions just don't have the same presence on the map and force the same response. Have the ability to drag queens around and stuff like that 6 or 8 do. So ideally you want to get a little bit more for that, but it's not the end of the world for TY. Of course, as he's going Battle Cruiser, And he's gonna make it happen. Thank you very much, good sir. I'm excited to see it. I want to see... Well, I want to learn. I love to play mech in Terran versus Zerg and Protoss, and TY does both. Battlecruiser to the main. Let the fun begin for everyone but soO and all those Zerg players who can empathize. There's not much to do about this flying laser bathtub, except take some pot shots at it and hope it doesn't move for too long. Yep, Battlecruiser comes in, racks up half a dozen kills, gets on out, finds an Overlord, gonna go to work on that. Essentially, unless you go for a counter all-in early on, you're just stuck here, eating as many laser battery shots as that Battlecruiser can put out. And since it fires while moving, it's just constantly putting him out. I think he just spotted the Spire as well. He did. Yeah, not really a trap. He's on the other side of the bracket now. Spire is halfway done. Roach Warren finishing up as well. Looks like he's going to go Roach Corruptor. TY has taken control of this game and is forcing soO to respond to him. There's not much else soO can really do. He wasn't able to get any information early. Battlecruiser doesn't want to risk it without tactical jump online. Second cruiser. Is there no second cruiser yet? He was a little late on starting the second one. I think he was getting his production up. Third command center. He mined out the entirety of the mineral wall. Don't want to get caught in there. Couple more gases on the way. It's going to be Hell Clones from TY. He saw the Spire, remember, so he wants some basic anti-air. Hellbats and Cyclones. The annoying super long-range rocket cars. With that mag field accelerator upgrade, they can, well, they do double damage to armored units. That includes Cyclones. Well, technically, yes, it includes Cyclones, but he shouldn't lock on to his own Cyclones. It includes roaches, it includes corruptors, it includes buildings. Does not include queens or ravagers. They are not armored, but they don't have much HP either. The lock-on still does plenty against them. Hellclone going to work. Is probably going to be able to cancel the fourth base. Leaves the Hellions in vision so he can see it. And TY sacrifices a couple Hellions to delay the fourth, but I think that's entirely worth it. So we've seen a lot of players. Honestly, I Roach Corruptor against a well-prepared mech player feels like a losing battle. Against a player, maybe you did some damage to them, maybe you're able to snipe off a battlecruiser, but TY has seen the Spire. He knows the threats. You're not going to just pick off a battlecruiser for free. He's going to be ready for you. +1 attack is on the way. There's a chance he puts together like a max-out timing. Ideally, just brute forcing his way in before TY has nearly enough units. It's going to get a little weird. Well, and TY finds the army, locks on to a couple corruptors. The battlecruisers have tactical jump, so if he knows where the corruptors are, he can outmaneuver them and then just jump away like a super blink. Not limited by vision or range. So finally, those battlecruisers are up to snuff. 3 tanks in a great positioning to cut off both bases. He could work around the edges here. TY. Come on in, Zerglings, but only the Zerglings. Yamato cannon. Down go 2 queens. The counterattacking cruisers. He's going to let himself through. The corruptors are on the way back home. Even though soO knows for sure, these cruisers are going to tactical jump out the moment he smells corruptors. You can maybe get a few more drone kills. soO is down to 68. The thing is, what are you supposed to do? The only successful options I've really seen are infestors with neural parasites. Or... no, that's mostly it. Especially if the Terran is already well established on 3 bases. The time to punish TY for this has essentially passed. soO's up to 92 drones, so he's not as focused on army here. It's tough, like, unless you're going to use Vipers are another option, but Infestation Pit just started. Swarm hosts are on the table, but also not incredible. Beautiful scan from TY, just keeping track of where those Zerg units could be. The tanks looking beautiful in their war chest skins, by the way. Their most recent BlizzCon war chest, that is. Command center trying to go down to the 4th. TY not playing too shy. He knows he has the tanks in position as long as he boxes out. More Ravagers on the way. soO wants to fight this. He wants to try to find an advantage while he has the supply. The Corruptor's going to work on the command center. SCV is going to need to repair. He gets the command center and a siege tank with this. The tank's still firing. On the other side, the 4 battle cruisers uncontested. The Corruptors have to come back. He has to get... Well, the command center was taken out, but at what cost? What is there to stop this? There's only 11 Corruptors. 4 Yamatos removed. Well, plenty of them. He Yamatos down the base. He says, you take my 4th, I'll take yours. Except he didn't lose a single unit taking out the 4th base of soO. TY building up that mech army. He's got +1/+1 completing. His 4th command center rebuilt and is prepared for landing. Plenty of Cyclones on the deck. He's got 9 Cyclones and 9 Hellions. Do they have Blue Flame? Of course they do. Infernal Pre-Igniter is complete. The Hell Clone gonna trade out with the Ravagers. Ooh, Corrosive Biles land and kill 2 Cyclones with that. That's not nothing. They're the Infestors. Without the Infestors, Fungal Growth interrupts tactical jump. You can't jump while the Fungal gets up in your wiring. The Hell Clones are trying to clear up the creep. soO has done a good job of keeping the creep spread. And if TY doesn't find a timing, and he doesn't need to, but if he doesn't look for a timing soon, we are going to go to that supreme late game where you have essentially the most expensive units, minerals and gas, mostly gas, can buy. And it really does more come down to the spellcasters. Battlecruiser's still looking for an opportunity. 4 battlecruisers is enough that you have to respect. Like, queens don't cut it. 2 battlecruisers, queens can kind of do something. 3 battlecruisers, it gets dicey. But 4 battlecruisers, if you don't have Corruptors, it ain't happening. A scan, looking for Corruptors. The Corruptors dodge around the edge of the scan. Oh, does he see the Fungal? Oh, he jumps the rest. 1 battlecruiser targeted the other Fungal. Oh, wait. No, not... He jumped out with 1. What am I saying? My brain was in 2 dimensions there. Good decision-making from TY, realizing. But he's just methodically... He's at 5 bases and counting. Now comes the phase of the game, which... To be honest, if you're a Zerg player, especially a Zerg... Like, soO is not a super late-game player. He's fine, but... He's not the player like, that's a guy who's going to play a 48-minute game every time and come out on top. It's not a Cyril, if you would. Now we have to figure out, and soO has to figure out, how do you beat this army? Fully upgraded Thors, which just obliterate Broodlords. Broodlords no longer have the range they once did, and Thors fire faster. They do less damage per hit, but it allows them to maneuver more and still do their damage. Broodlords don't beat Thors. Not even close. But, you know what beats Thors? Thors. So, at the end of the day, Neural Parasite. Taking those Thors into your army and giving them a better deal. That is potentially the best way. Terran units are very good against Terran units. TY moving up, throwing some turrets in the mix. The battlecruiser's doing a scenic tour of the map in order to evade everything else. The setup on the top of the ramp. This isn't nearly TY's full army, but it's enough that if soO doesn't commit, it's going to be very hard to defend. The Corruptors were looking for the cruisers, but they didn't find them. Where are the Infestors? Triple upgrade potential here. soO is banking money, but so is TY now. He's got the sensor towers. The battlecruisers jump away. Where did they jump to? They jumped home back to the shipyard for repair. He took out the base as well. Is this even a Rich Vespene Geyser anymore? Not anymore. This map no longer has Rich Vespene Geysers, I guess. Forget when exactly that was changed. I'm getting too old. But the tank's on the high ground. He scans the Infestors, a very important scan. The tanks make it so Neural Parasite going to be tough to make use of. The Corruptors looking for something to do. They find a command center at the very least. There's a Broodling there as well. Oh, Baneling's hitting a Thor. Talk about cost inefficiency. The Thor's maybe moving a little far forward. He might be able to grab one. He grabs one. The Thor. Oh, but he can target. Oh, he grabs the other Thor. The Thor's working forward. Corruptors taken out. Well, actually, it's being repaired. So the Thors did a little bit of damage to the Terran army. But guess what? The battle cruisers are angry. He's going to chuck up some corrosive biles, but he zones them out of the base. soO has to scramble. Some more fungals come out, but they don't hit too much. TY dodges the corrosive biles with some very minimalist micro. soO scrambling back with the corruptors. The SCVs killed the burrowed ling. soO is trying to get creep into that base in time. The tactical jump, he gets one cruiser away. The cruiser count is dipping, but Liberators are coming to fill the gap. 11 Broodlords on the way. He's mostly killed the battle cruisers. He's going to gamble on the Broods, but there are 11 Thors, and they're more than equipped to deal with them. Well, make that 10. He grabs one and turns it against its brothers. Meanwhile, will the Broodlords be enough? Because the Thors will have the armor and the weapons upgrades, and that really does factor in. There's +1 flyer weapons, but nothing else. You really need to be able to punch through that armor. Ravagers, Roaches, Banelings, heading up to the north. Meanwhile, the Broodlords are working through, but the Thors are pounding. The Thors are pounding. Is it enough? He unsieges the tank so they don't do friendly fire damage. The Thors are unloading those high-impact cannons. The Queen's trying to keep the Broodlords alive, but the Broodlords are crumbling. The Thors in run HP don't seem to care. The Broodlords obliterated. There's nothing left in the skies, but there's plenty left in the ground. 2 Broodlords will survive. The tanks tried to move forward. TY baited into biting off more than he could chew. But meanwhile, the mech army towards the north, blasting through the defenses. A battle cruiser left over from times past. The Lings will get on top of it. soO can rebuild, he can reload, and rearm. He has just enough resources to remax. The thing is, though, Broodlords, as you can see, just not going to cut it. Without TY definitely overcommitted that. And also, without the massive ground support, that was only 4 Thors. That was 11 Broodlords versus 4 Thors. Okay. It's not going to get easier. There's a whole bunch of Liberators. Does he have Liberator range? No, surprising since he does have a fusion core. A little bit of an oversight for TY, I think. Meanwhile, the Roach Ravager moving forward. All the Zerglings cease to exist. There are 2 Broodlords, which I'm not sure TY is incredibly intimidated by that. The Liberators will siege up, but he's staggering them pretty well. Only 1 vulnerable to corrosive bile. Those Liberators are pretty stacked up. If he could get a few rounds of corrosive bile on it, obviously he could combine and take them down, but TY hasn't. Well, if you look at the banks, while it feels, ooh, this is an incredible run by. soO's down to 69 drums, which isn't so nice, even though you might think it. Blue Flame Hellbats just cause Zerglings to spontaneously combust. The round army's moving forward on both sides, to the north and to the south, respectively. This location is going to be tough to breach here. Even if he neural parasites or anything like that on some of these units, God, TY is just controlling this entire section of the map. Good luck breaking that. He's got 5 Infestors. Corruptors are looking for an opportunity. There are no Vipers in the mix to try to break this up. Oh, God. The constant scans. Meanwhile, the battlecruiser, by the way. Remember me? How many kills? That battlecruiser has 31 kills. Did he jump in here? No, he can jump out. Will he? Not this time. Oh, my God! With 12 HP, that's going to go down. But TY is just asserting himself on this map. He's putting his liberation zones out there. He's whipping out his big Thor cannons. He's sieging up his strong, supple tanks. He's getting lit with his Hellbats. He's scanning with his orbitals. Those are all things he's doing. Yes. People do watch me cast. Believe me, guys, it's for real. Sometimes. But the thing is, soO has run out of bank, and he's running out of runway. While he's held on to some of these bases, you still have to beat the army eventually. Like, you're not going to base trade this. Ravager Baneling is not a base trading army. But how do you actually fight it? There are 2 Broodlords involved. Like, he's Venn scanning all over the place here. The Broodlords are going to try. Here comes soO, all from one angle. He's trying to edge in past the Liberation Zones. Neural Parasite used. The Infestors are targeted by tanks. A couple of them a little bit slow on the draw there. soO obliterated. Not even close. Yeah, a few of the tanks and some of the Liberators were taken down. But this time, there's no coming back from that. The Thors pound too hard. Without, like, you need Vipers and Infestors and a good position and maybe some Queens and Spores. You gotta have a stew of spellcasters in order to even think about engaging that kind of army. And honestly, well, soO just did not. TY. Like, it's not over, but if soO couldn't do it with that much money in the bank, now TY is maxed out. He's taken this entire side of the map. He's up to 4 going on 6 orbitals. We got 4 plays. He's got 12 or so command centers. Like, soO has not cracked the code here. He has not solved this problem. He may be able to max out once more, but he's maxing out with the same units. And how did that go for him last time? In the skies, he's got 2/2 upgrades. On the ground, 3/3/3. He's got... Wait, why does he have chitinous plating? Is there an Ultralisk Cavern somewhere? I guess so. I mean... We've got check, and pretty soon we're going to have mates. Some good neural parasites. TY stepping a little far forward. The Thors are actually destroying the Liberators. The best counter to Terran is, of course, Terran. But Banelings are not the cost-effective unit. Reinforcements step in to replace all that was lost. Caustic Spray looking for a planetary, which would be a small victory. But the war is still very much in doubt. How many more Infestors? There's only 1 Infestor. Like, where is soO's supply even at? Some more Corrosive Biles? He's desperately trying to fight. The planetary was taken out and will immediately be replaced by another command center. TY continues pounding through this position. Honestly, though, that, like, the neural parasites on the Thors killing Liberators, Terran units, I think, have killed just as many important Terran units as Zerg units have. So, soO has rebuilt, like, he's at 48 drones. He's killing planetaries, but there are bases to replace them. TY at this point he can throw away Hellions wherever he wants to, which is pretty much everywhere. The Thors have strong words for those Corruptors. Those words are, get the hell out of here. soO, like, how are you gonna break him? TY's just standing there. He's poking him. He's flicking his ear. He's saying, well, what are you gonna do about it? The thing is, what can he? This is a confident man here, TY. He doesn't need to show you he can beat your army. He knows you know. Here comes soO. His last desperate attack. Not even remotely close. Obliterated. GG. TY. A dominating performance. In Game 1. That was Terran. That is, TY just stood right there, stood in the doorway. So you thought you were going to leave this game alive? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing there, but... The big thrust of Terran through the map. Tearing up soO. Tearing up the creep. Tearing up bases and tearing up my heart. TY. Checkmate. I mean, there's still a chance. There's still a dream. There's still a hope. So what I'm trying to say is it going to be a Ravager all-in, a Nidus, a Proxy Hatch, a 2-base Spire, a Baneling bust? I don't know. Picking Protoss? We'll have to find out because we've figured out you cannot let TY make it to the late game. That was pretty... It was trending one direction for quite a while. And then it for the last 5 minutes or so, it was kind of clear which direction we were headed. We just had to wait and let it come to fruition. So, obviously, I am assuming you guys can read and figure out which players are which. The second day of qualifiers. I'm never on it this time. Thank you for watching, by the way. Thank you for ESL for letting me be a part of it. And I hope to do a lot more casting in the future. Of course, I already do. If you check out YouTube, we got videos every single day. Not always casting. Sometimes of me playing terribly. Grandmaster Random sometimes. But thank you for tuning in. And make sure to tune in too. So coming up just this Sunday will be the very first ESL Pro Tour Open Cup. It's at 5 o'clock p.m., which is unfortunately kind of early on the Americas server, but I think I plan on participating and then casting afterwards. So, and that's going to be every week on every server. Make sure to check out the ESL site for those times. Did soO? No, soO went Hedge first this time. We're on Eternal Empire. I wasn't really joking with the cheese charcuterie board I was talking about. If you're soO, at no point in that game, maybe there was like a little bit of a threat when he went Roach Corruptor originally and poked in, but TY was manhandling him with battle cruisers all over the place. At no point did it feel like soO had an opportunity to actually break through. Some fancy Reaper micro, the most annoying thing. Now, will he try to deny the first creep tumor? No. I always wonder, like, when you're trading out HP on that Reaper, but what about the first creep tumor? Yes, these are the questions people ask. These are the questions people need to know. Meanwhile, TY, will he try to block the third? No, the Queen comes out to try to handle it, and will successfully place down the third. TY is a greedy, greedy guy. Third command center. He says, well, this time you're going to play a little safer, a little more macro-oriented. 2 can play at that game. TY a step ahead. Third command center. His command center was actually before the hatchery was laid down. So he wasn't waiting for soO to decide what he was going to do. TY already knew which direction his road was taking. Will he actually go 3CC into battlecruisers? And the answer is yes. Don't be silly. Of course he will. Fusion Core battle cruisers once again. Here we go. TY. Now, can soO figure this out? He did not go Overlord speed. Like, if you don't get out in front of the battlecruisers, whether it's with some sort of... Okay, he's getting a second gas. It's not early, but it's kind of early. He's getting a... Okay. So, you either have to get a huge economy and kind of just eat the battlecruiser damage, and that means not losing drones to Hellions and stuff. Or you try to all-in either as the battlecruiser is coming out, because battlecruisers can only shoot so many units at a time, which seems like a design oversight. But it appears soO's going to go for the... I have 58 or 64 or 69 drones, and you can kill 10 of them, but I'll still be ahead by a large margin. What soO has yet to realize, and there's no way he could have realized without Overlord speed or a big mistake out of TY, is that there's already a third command center. And TY is not going to be far behind in economy, even assuming 0 damage from the battlecruiser. So, an Overseer is going to come out just in time to spot potentially his worst fear. Once again, TY is going to be making it happen. Dropping down the factories, or building the factory. Not really dropping down. The Overseer's coming. We're going to the soO cam. And... Dun 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 dun. Wait a second. I think I know what that is. I mean, he knows. He knows what it is. He doesn't need to see the Fusion Core. Even though seeing the Fusion Core doing the Fusion Core dance would be helpful to realize how committed TY is to battlecruisers, he knows. The battlecruiser jumps into the dead zone, where there is plenty of airspace. 67 drones to start. The Hellions dart in. Pushed away. The Queens will poke at the battlecruiser. So far, not much damage, but TY going to be right on his front doorstep, trying to kill the creep. Battlecruiser finds itself an Overlord. I guess the one part of this build you skip when you get the third command center that quick is the Viking that kills Ovies. The battlecruiser just kind of killing a bunch of drones. soO, not really respect. So TY is within 2 workers now, and it's cost him almost nothing. A whole bunch of Zerglings are coming towards the third. TY reacts quickly, but is it quickly enough? He's got 2 more Hellions. Yes, the answer is yes. Meanwhile, the Hellions, oh my god, soO can't. It's a disaster. Oh no. TY's like, oh, okay. 4th command center. Oh. This is more one-sided than a Mobius strip right now. We got a Yamato cannon comes out. The Hellions are burning down the Queens. soO not even able to get a 4th base. TY getting his 4th. A masterclass as he cruises closer to victory. It's not nearly over yet. Because TY has been so greedy, he's invested so much in just a handful of strong units early, he's not going to win the game right now. But at the same time, soO is in the same or worse scenario as he was in the previous match. Oh. Well. That could have gone better, but... remember, when Banelings die, they're dead. So... Yep. Stay tuned for more hard-hitting commentary. Another base. Does he have smart servos? No, he's just gonna... Because they can kind of do that like a Michael Bay movie. The 4th command center's all done. TY not risking his battlecruisers before it. Turret's already on the way. The Marines left over from earlier, before the mechanical industrial complex took over, are going to be split off for some advanced scouting. One on the way. I guess we're going to get... so it's going to be... Now this is there any other anti-air besides the first cruiser? Oh yes, 3 battle cruisers. So the turret dies. The Mutas will do damage. He's trying Sky Zerg, which is very expensive and leaves a lot of options for failure. So there are plenty of turrets. Yamato's coming out. He jumps a cruiser away to safety. It looks like TY actually using the Select Army Hack. He caught a little off guard, maybe. It appears so. But the battlecruisers are still more than enough is the problem with the Yamatos to thin out Corruptors. So he got his one round of surprise. Like, TY, like, are you kidding me? You went Corruptor and Muta? You know how much those things cost? And soO says, I literally have never thought about it. Because right now, he has 93 drones. He's going to have a huge economy. And it looks like we're going to the late game once again. He's going to keep making battlecruisers. I put like a pause, and then we were supposed to cut to commercial. And then when we come back from commercial, we're going to recap. But make sure to subscribe with Twitch Prime, and I'll get more money. And check out ESL for the ESL Pro. Note that the game's still going on. This is live. Okay, soO now has to go back to the drawing board where he was drawing whatever disaster he had last game and figure out. So it's going to be kind of like last game, but there's going to be more battle cruisers. He's building Infestor Viper, I guess, on paper. He's building an Ultralisk Cavern, which gives me great concern. Because an Ultralisk Cavern implies he wants to make Ultralisk, which implies he wants to lose as much money as efficiently as possible. Okay, so this is not the best way to use Corruptors. Meanwhile, the battle cruisers are just kind of going about their business. Scans across. I mean, how many orbitals now? Only the 3, but TY has 77. TY actually has an SCV problem. TY is one of the few Terran players, him and Special, who's essentially like his little brother. In the way he plays and acts. But he sometimes will pass 100 SCVs, and he's lost games because his army is like 96 supply instead of 130. I'm glad to see he's cut it down. It's you know you're a high-level player when your problem is building too many SCVs, which is stereotypically the hardest unit to keep a strong number of, just because you don't have those extra production mechanics. The Hellbats. Gonna find a base, a whole bunch of Zerglings and Banelings looking to challenge him. And here we go again. We're gonna play it all out with a different background. TY, I like this next level play. So the Corruptors, I have no idea where the Corruptors went, but he thinks TY left. Because TY killed an Overlord, and now soO sees nothing. So, but TY just kind of chilled in that location. Next level play, just don't move at all. If you don't move, they can't see it. That base under fire, literally and figuratively. soO's not going to be able to hold on to this, I don't think. TY taking a forward position. He's got base number 4. He's got 5. And number base 6, come on down. It's a planetary fortress already. The lock-ons are there. Cyclone's going to work. The battlecruisers have yet to be utilized. He hasn't spotted the Corruptors here. More command centers, more CCs than a bad corporate email chain. The battlecruisers come in. They're going to take down the Spore, take down a bunch. Oh, he can target the Spire! A very key point! He gets the Spire with the upgrades, making it that much easier to do the same thing again and again. Jumps out. One battlecruiser takes some hull damage. The rest are out scot-free. The tanks are on the high ground. 3-3 closing in, and soO. Here we go again, but this time without the advantage. Last game, he had the advantage of a larger bank, and it still didn't matter. This game, the banks are about even. He's struggling to keep TY from expanding over his entire half the map, and also keep any of his units out of his own base. So, what are you going to do? Like, what has he got this time? We got 3 Infestors. He's getting Ultras, which... I mean, TY is so diligent about scanning. Will this be the one time he's not? Dun, 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 dun. The harpoons! Get over here! Oh, he grabs 2 cruisers. Okay. You might want to kill those. Oh, wait. Okay, jump is on cooldown. TY got a little ahead of himself here. So that's something. Meanwhile, there's another battlecruiser just over here, just cruising. As they do. Why do you think they call him the battle cruiser? He whips out a Yamato. You know you can jump. Where's he gonna jump to? He jumps home. Actually, he jumps to this location and scans to kill the Ling. Meanwhile, this battle cruiser going to work on the hatch. TY cruising all over the map. Oh my god. You can feel like, despite soO having such a, like, he's been maxed out with a bigger bank and 80 plus drones for half the game now. But what has he done? What has he accomplished? Nothing. I mean, okay, well, not nothing, but very little. Anyways, here we go! The infestors, he's zoning them out. The scan's there. Corruptor's going to work. Will he target the infestors? He sees them underneath. Everything dies. Everything dies horribly. It's an absolute massacre. A rout. He's obliterated. He's knocked off the field. The battlecruiser kills a base. Every single Zerg unit on the ground, and many of them in the skies, are completely wiped off the map. A clean sheet. A flat 0 so far accomplished there in the long run. Let's look at that unit's loss tab. Only 5 tanks and no Thors have died. Meanwhile, soO is scrambling around. How do you beat this? He's really... I'm asking, soO's asking, TY might even be asking, though he probably wouldn't answer if you asked. One command center dies, while soO... he's building banelings. Like, banelings. Okay, the Thors are going to get surrounded. Now, this might come as a shock to you, but baneling's not well known as a counter to Thors since the days of Nestea. Players don't usually clump up their Thors into nice little drumming circles. Scans across the board. The scan sound just a permanent resident in this match. He's just going to go down the ramp with the Banes into the Thors. TY is going to spread Thors. Ultras are going to try to fight. I didn't know soO was a comedian, because that's a joke. That's maybe not the hatch you want to consume. Here comes some more infestors. Do they have enough energy for neural? This could be something. Now, this is a fight. He picks him up. He could target down, but the Thors are blasting through. Now, with the Thors as part of the Zerg army, that's a winning fight for Zerg. But they turn back to the Terran side, and suddenly the tides turn as well. The Ultras getting blasted apart. A single Thor survives. That's more than enough. He's going to kill the infestors, take revenge for the life he stole away from him. He might lose the Thor, but TY is still going to win the battle. This goes down. The Corruptor's desperately looking for a target and finding CCs to pee on. TY lambasted him once again. That time soO had a few more options. That time soO had Terran units, which seemed to be a defining factor in this matchup so far. TY making it look not easy, but nearly impossible for soO. soO not really doing himself any favors with his unit composition, but now he's back to the Broodlords. We've tried this before, but we're kind of running out of options. soO's at 64 drones. I feel like same game, different map. Like, this time the Broodlords came after the Ultras. But the Thors, high impact mode for some high impact gameplay. The Broodlords can't even get close. The Liberators zone out the Queens. The Thors are here, and they ain't going anywhere. Are there any infestors? There are 5 infestors left. He almost loses the base. Ultras and Zerglings did kill a key base out of TY at the north here. Now, of course, TY still has plenty of mining bases. soO is just rotating around the map. Oh, are you going to kill the base? So the Ultras are actually doing something, which is achievement unlocked. Now, they're going to want to get out, but they actually cleared up this side of the map. It looks like we're going to pick a side. We're going to draw a line right down the middle. TY has 9 command centers now. He just lost how many command centers is it? He's lost 4 command centers, so 13 command centers. soO has 8 hatcheries, and he's lost 6 hatcheries, so he's built 14 bases. I mean, soO still has a better bank on paper. Like, if you just looked at the supply, but that doesn't tell the whole story. Okay, the Ultras are trying to come in. This isn't going to be as successful as the first round. They might get through. No. Thing is, we still have to solve the problem of the army. And that is a big, strong, thick, hard-hitting, long-range, just well-armored problem. The Ultras will... they're just going around like soO's Ultras. soO and the backstabbing Ultras. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with a band name or something here. There are now 10 Thors, 10 Liberators, 8 Vikings, and 4 tanks. TY has been driven off the left side of the map. So now it's east versus west. There are, what? The forward outpost. The alarm is raised. But unfortunately, that turret and tank will no longer be part of this game. So this got even more in, like... Ugh. The Thors will lumber across the map. How many? There are 6 orbitals, and they're still mostly out of energy. Plus 3 air, well, air Zerg. Is this a mined out rich Vespine geyser? Of course it is. So now we're just going to focus our efforts to the north. Honestly, the south is mostly mined out for soO here. And just flip it. Can we just turn it all the way around and just pretend? Okay. There are a handful of Thors. I mean, Knurls. Well, there are a large handful of Thors, depending on how many Thors you can fit in your hand. The Knurl Parasite is part of this, but the, wow. Well, yeah. Thors are here, and nothing else is relevant. soO. Murder. soO has been thoroughly slapped across the face by 2 big-ass cannons out of the back of the Thor for the second time. And well, ever how many, I don't know, like how many ways can you describe that? soO came in, so did TY. TY, it's like if, I don't know. If TY was Mike Tyson and soO was McLovin from that movie McLovin was in. I think McLovin's Paradise was what it was called. That's probably the term. And then Mike Tyson punched him in the face. That would be a closer matchup than what we saw in most of those fights. So the Ultras and the Broodlords not cutting. We haven't seen Swarm Hosts, and really, I feel like soO has not leaned on the Vipers. No, soO, there. Okay. Vipers and Swarm Hosts have not, and Lurkers as well. Lurkers outrange Thors on the ground. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. But, okay. So, can we consider that Ravager? At this point, okay, TY. Let's see the proxy racks. Now is the perfect time. Thank you, TY. I love you too. I mean, good choice. Wait, is this a proxy Reaper? Alright. I think this is by far, like, this is the most obvious time to do it. The thing is, all he has to do is pick up one. He knows if the game goes past 10 minutes and he's able to do whatever he wants. Well, we've seen what happens. At this point, soO has to be scared of everything, and any sort of cheese or anything like that is such a risk. Whereas TY can just throw it out there and see what sticks. This could be match point. A clean... Well, whoever wins this is going to IEM Katowice. Whoever loses has more chances to make it there. And I'm surprised soO isn't already, like, seeded into the bracket because he won IEM Katowice last time, but... Now, will soO be right? Like, how would you know it's Proxy Reaper? This isn't even... This isn't... He's gonna build a bunker at the front. Oh my god. He's gonna bait drones to stop the bunker, and then he can go into the main. TY, the 200 IQ proxy. Oh. And he comes into the main. Everything's terrible. soO has to, like, the bunker's going to finish as well. And he's building a marine. As long as the Reaper lives, like, this has been incredible already for TY. Oh. Like, the amount of investment he put into this and the return he's getting for it. He's lost nothing. soO is in such an awkward spot. Okay, there's enough links that he has to salvage the bunker. But still, all of this was forced out. He has to pay a 25 mineral restocking fee, and that's about it. Oh my god, there's a sec. He's gonna kill the Overlord on soO's side of the map. Oh, no, this is cyberbullying. This is... TY is a cyberbully. Remove Terran. TY, come on. Please, hashtag cancel TY. Please no cyberbully in my IEM tournaments. Now, this is a good counterattack. 4 lings are a surprisingly dangerous... Whoa. He's gonna kill several SCVs. In fact, well, actually, well, did I speak? Well, speed is done. This is... Okay. The Reaper's back, but there's more lings. So things are escalating here. The Reaper will make it up to the high ground. This was nice from soO because... Guess what TY is doing. Fusion Core! Battle Cruisers! 3 for 3! Did I say free or 3? At this point, I have been streaming StarCraft since 9 o'clock yesterday, Eastern Time, which is a different time than these players are on by a large margin. Okay, this is my excuse for saying free instead of 3. Like, that's not even a big deal. Like, we get it, bro. You don't sleep. What are you, some 19-year-old on Twitch chat bragging about how they're hurting themselves by not sleeping nearly enough and trying to actually study, but not actually study because they're on Twitch chat watching this amazing series despite saying they're going to study. But, oh no, I didn't sleep. I've been up all night. I might as well subscribe with my mom's Twitch Prime. Don't think too hard about anything I just said. And Jimmy! I don't know who that was. A tropical lag storm for a moment. Rest in pieces. The thing is, are you expecting the like, he went Proxy Reaper into Hellions, but are you expecting the battle cruiser yet? This is a surprising, an uncomfortably quick battle cruiser. Oh, he just runs in. Oh, what? Uncomfortably quick is how I would like to describe this battle cruiser. He's making 2 more factories. TY, this is definitely the most awkward spot he's been in, but soO is definitely better prepared. I think the Zergling counterattack took a big chunk out of the potential for TY. Like, if he was allowed to just... Oh, he built a Nidus, and then he unbuilt a Nidus. Did he misclick a Spire? Is that even possible? Like, are we using grid hotkeys? I don't... Who uses grid hotkeys? Where even is the Spire? Can somebody find it? I don't, like... Oh, there it is. You know, if it's that hard for me to find, and I could have just clicked on this, then it's probably pretty hard for TY as well, which is kind of the point. Okay, he cancels the bunker after... Well, what did TY scan? He scanned the natural and saw roach speed upgrading, which indicates if there aren't roaches at my doorstep right now, I probably don't have to worry too much. Alright. Battlecruiser makes its way across. I mean... It's been... We knew it was coming. Like, it RSVP'd before coming across the map. It's like, I'll be there in a minute. It's like, could you wait? I'm not ready. No, I'll be there in a minute. Suddenly, tactical jump. Surprise. Battlecruiser cruising through, looking for kills, doesn't seem to care. Actually, a little deep in the paint here. Brenda and her knitting crew. He's gonna... Well, he didn't jump in, so he can jump out. DY has 59. How does he do it? Well, he's managed soO's drone count well enough that he has a comparable worker count. He's got his production up. What he has done is delay his upgrades this game. In order to get this unit count up to make sure he's not going to die, he has had to delay his armories a little, I feel. He's getting his 4th command center beforehand, but it's really a gas limitation until you get the 3rd up. Oh, the corruptors are coming. Is there anything else to stop them? This is going to get awkward. Actually, this is going to get super awkward because there's only 2 battlecruisers, and there's no turrets, and there's no cyclones. So, I mean, I guess he can just fly away. Or not. So TY just kind of loses his command center to corruptors, which is definitely not on script for him in this series. That does... This time, soO might actually be able to pull off this Sky Zerg army. A couple Yamatos here, maybe looks for a couple drones. So this is getting weird. Gonna jump away, jump back home. The battlecruiser count is growing. So he rebuilds the base. There are some cyclones involved, so this is looking a little more like last game. Are there armories? He doesn't even have an armory yet, so the upgrades are definitely a factor here as well. There are turrets under that soO. Does soO care? Very important question. A Widow Mine burrows. Remember, there's no tactical jump because he just jumped away. A lock-on was broken by the high ground. There he locks on. Oh, 2 more corruptors. So, this game has definitely matured into a very confusing one. Okay, not very confusing, but a little confusing. soO definitely has more options on the table than the previous 2 matches. The fact he forced the battlecruisers back to the base, he killed a command center, he's got a significant worker lead, and he's actually making Sky Zerg a thing. Now, he really should stop trying to make it a thing, because Widow Mine's also a thing. And if he eats another couple Widow Mine hits, hundreds, if not thousands of gas could be going down the drain. So, like, I get it, it's fun, but, oh my god, and this is why we don't go Sky Zerg. Or do we? Yeah, I might be wrong. The battlecruiser's being repaired, he just kind of burrowed, oh my god. Sweet muta Jesus. Well, he's just kind of piling in. He's gonna, it hasn't been particularly cost-effective, but he has, no, that was, like, soO really doesn't want to play late game. He really, like, Can you blame him? Can you blame him in the least? But he really, really doesn't want to play late game. This is what we're getting from this. He's got 87 drones. He's just going to keep whipping Zerg units out. There's a Heart of the Swarm trailer action going on right now. He's got roaches. He's got lynx. He's got mutas. He's got corruptors. That's it. That's all the units he has right now. Does he have any bane link? No, that's it. Meanwhile, the tank count pretty, well, not low because he didn't actually kill very many tanks. So half the army's kind of killing an engineering bay and some depots, which isn't the ideal target. A battle cruiser can be targeted, but there are multiple. Can he kill the command center? I don't know. The supply is a bit of a mess, but soO, he has the money. He has the. I don't know what he's gonna build. I feel like maybe at this point just roll a die. And what? TY needs Thors. Like, we've seen Thors. If there was a time for Thors, this would be it. I'm surprised he's not building any. He's building Cyclones for some spot defense, but. Alright, well, the siege will continue. He's gonna build. Oh my god, soO. Okay, he's gonna build 12 more mutas, so he's gonna die on this hill. Or the Widow Mine under the hill. 17 more mutas. There are no Thor. The fact that there are no Thors at all is what gives him a chance. Like, if there were any Thors, like even just one against this army. The Widow Mines, he's trying. Well, they hit the mutas, which is not a great start. The command center's having troubles. The tanks. Well, the tanks are hurting the Hell Clone almost as much as they're hurting everything else. The muta count is real damn high. He's just kind of building turrets here. Some of the turrets will finish. He's targeting well, there's a lot of. I don't know. You know what? I don't know. Does anybody else know what's happening? Because TY's supply is pretty high. Oh yeah, there are battle cruisers over here. He's just gonna try to kill everything. TY finally building Thors. It appears the muta count was high enough. There's no more anti-air. So, yeah, TY really needed Thors earlier. The mutas are doing it. He's building 16 more mutas, which is, at this point, I'm not sure the Thors are gonna matter. Because there's 28 mutas. We found the one scenario where the mutas can actually do it. The Widow Mines will burrow. Oh, Thors! Thors! Wee woo, wee woo. Okay. Unfortunately, though, the Thors come out, and TY has lost 69 workers, which is not so nice for anyone but soO. The Yamatos, they'll jump. soO can do it again. There's no reason he can't do it again. Thors are not. 3 Thors are not enough. Unless the mutas stack up and run into Widow Mines. Which is not out of the question, even remotely. Like, oh my god. Like, soO, do you want to make a highlight reel? Because that's how you make a highlight reel. TY is down 100 supply. He has very little in the way of workers. And it appears soO has leaned so much on these units that aren't supposed to do anything that they've done everything. I don't think these Thors are enough unless there's a huge mistake. Like, TY's like, you're not just going to keep making mutas. That would be real dumb. And soO's like, watch me. The magical boxing to minimize some splash damage. GG. So this time around, TY thrown a little off balance, and soO just runs with it. He did not. It is quite clear that TY like literally couldn't believe that soO would keep making mutas. If TY had one Thor during a solid 2 minutes of the mutas are sitting under 4 turrets and a bunch of Cyclones in battle. Like, one Thor just mixed in there. He may, like, it feels like TY's like, no, Thors are for absolutely face-murdering broodlords. And that is it. I don't know. But we get a game 4. We get a game 4. So. Thank you for sticking with me. TY making it like he just wants to show good games for the fans. Like what a disaster. So that was it's like it was like a Family Guy joke, right? Like if you just run with it long enough, it becomes funny again. Like, there's definitely... making mutas is just like that. Except it has a significantly higher risk of not being funny at the end. Just sad. Or cringy or boring or just anything but winning the game. But, in this case, soO ran with it all the way. And TY, it felt like really, literally couldn't believe what he was saying. Alright, so no proxy racks this game. He thought he would mix it in. Honestly, I thought he was doing fine. And then soO's like, here's 48 mutas! We'll see what happens this game. Thank you guys for tuning in. I think this will be my last series of the day. I've been streaming for 12 plus hours. I've been doing multiple qualifiers, but I don't have as much passion. I'll be hosting Wardy as he concludes the qualifiers after this, which will be the loser of this match against SOS, which should be an absolute mess, because SOS has been clown jitsuing through this entire bracket against everyone. Like a drunken Jedi master. Very drunk, but also very master. Jedi. So thank you for watching with me. Of course, you can catch highlights and casts every day on YouTube. I've got like 1,500 or something. Maybe 2,000 now. I don't know. Haven't kept track. Video every day. So who knows? You got Bronze League heroes. You got not so Bronze League heroes. You have SOS, who is somewhere in between. All that exciting. Angry Coach. Go buy my announcering game. Or don't. Or do. Lean towards that last one. Subscribe and follow and all of that. And I'll be back on Friday for Friday Night Starcraft. And it's nighttime for the Americas. It is the morning of Saturday for Korea. And it is when you should really be sleeping, but probably aren't in Europe. So make sure to tune in. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my casting. And yes, it makes it sound like I expect TY to win this game. That's because I do. But hopefully you've enjoyed. And I know I have. Thank you for making it a lot of fun. Now let's get into it. Will it be the Cruisers again? soO has 2 games to make up. A hard-fought and a messy, bloody, near-Pyrrhic victory. But a victory nonetheless with the mutas. TY going for the triple CC build. Starport is on the way. Factory moving around. Wait, what? Factory not moving around. Why is factory not moving? Is he faking? Is he doing the build he did yesterday? Or... oh my god. There's a possibility that yesterday... so, yesterday TY did a fake battlecruiser build against soO on this map, where he built a couple Hellions, but then went into bio. There's a chance... well, he's not doing it again because he built a starport. But he showed that he still had the reactor on the barracks. So, he might be trying to sell soO that he's doing the sneaky build from yesterday today. Though I'm not convinced, because there's not nearly enough gas for a fusion core. soO just kind of made a bunch of Zerglings. Oh. So he's like, well, if you just have Marines, I can make a bunch of Zerglings. But then he built Hellions. So that, I mean, we'll chalk that up to that happened. I think that was a little better for TY because it slows soO down a little unnecessarily. But soO gets in and, well, he already kind of saw most of what was happening. He saw the starport as well, which is pretty important. I say, as the Viking is killing an Overlord. You think he has a starport, soO? I don't know. But soO's actually supply blocked from that. Wow. That's a big supply block, too. He didn't have any Overlords in production. Two. I just combined their names. No. TY is going for bio. Here we go. We're back to the script. We're back to barracks, a factory. What other buildings? Starport. Oh my god, I'm losing it. Come on, one more game. Let's do this. Or two. Probably one. +1/+1. Stim finishing up. Tank complete. TY is lining up a 1-1 timing. I expect he'll build 2 medevacs after this. Combat shield. And that'll give him an opportunity to push. But this time, soO, is he expecting the cruisers? It doesn't look like it. His upgrades are going to be super slow, but mutas. He's like, this is the only unit that has given me any chance in this series. Thing is, mutiling bling is not a very common choice, especially against bio, because the timing when you can harass and kill SCVs and delay production and get those mutas to the other side of the map without having to be defensive is usually very thin. And that's going to be true here as well. If you have more opportunity for the mutas to get damage done if they're going mech like last game, because there's just not as many basic anti-air units built nearly as quickly. Here comes TY. Everything's going to be coming together for him in a timely manner. This is a great counterattack from soO, though. This is a huge move. The timing couldn't be better. He saw that the army was moving out. Now TY was forced to choose between losing most of his SCVs and being able to do the push, and he chose to lose the SCVs. The Lings are getting in and doing even more damage. TY is now down 20-something workers. Bane speed is done. Lings and Banes continuing to head across the map. soO is gambling. He's going to give up the 4th in order to keep TY off balance. There's no way he can fight this army. His 1-1's still far out. 10 mutas are on the way. Hellbats are coming online. He's going to be able to drive back the Zergling counterattack. TY pushing forward. Everything's coming together. How many Banelings on the ground? Just 3 Banelings, and he's not building anymore. But TY is not able to bring his army up to reinforce because he's scared of the counterattack. There's still 1 creep tumor left unscanned here. 69 drones for soO. Pretty nice. But TY didn't lose a critical amount of SCVs, but enough that, oh, the mutas are revealed. There's a single turret in the mineral line. The add-ons will be exposed. TY, this is a very tough position to be in. soO has done a great job of buying himself the time he needs. Oh, the Marines come up. He hasn't lost a muta yet. There's a bunch of random units in the middle of the map. soO is using this opportunity to expand to both angles, meaning TY is going to have to commit so far out onto the map in order to get damage done. The one thing TY has going for him, the upgrades, and of course the unit composition. The closer we get to 200 supply, oh, 1 muta. 2 mutas actually shaved off. I'm not sure if they were both there. But the army composition, the closer we get to 200 supply, the better it gets for Terran, with few exceptions. Because the Mutiling Bane is supposed to overwhelm with superior numbers. It is not about cost efficiency, it's about quantity over quality. soO is on the other side of the rocks. TY trying to hold multiple positions. It's going to be very difficult to hold on to both at once without one falling. soO's still building a whole bunch of units. TY's trickling out SCVs as well. He spots the army. What will this Is he going to drop or is he going to pull back? TY, he's in no man's land. He has to make a decision. He resieges. soO backs off. Every second gets him closer to 2-2 and some breathing room. He's continually producing. He kept most of his add-ons intact from the earlier attack. How many barracks do we have? We got 5 racks. Drop going forward. There are some Banelings in the mix there, but the mutas are not with this, and that means the drop is threatening the base. He might even be able to kill the command center. Banelings working their way through. TY has nothing dramatic here to do. Oh! Massive Widowmine hit! Just taking the back out of this push. There's still a lot. The rest of the reinforcements coming up. soO still has a whole lot of mutas. Thor is here, but the Widowmine took a huge chunk of the ground forces. TY pulls back. He's got 2-2. Wait. Is the +2 armor upgrade done? Why was it so far ahead of his weapons? It doesn't matter. So soO lost several mutas in that exchange. He's down to 12, which is no longer really fighting numbers. Oh, the army has jumped on creep. The tanks will go down. He's got to pull back. The Hellbat's holding the line. Fighting on creep is necessary right now for soO, especially when he's down a couple upgrades. TY pushing forward for his 4th base. He's been battered but not beaten. He has driven back the creep, killed the 4th base twice. soO is mining from the top right. Does TY know about it? He does not. A spotting depot will spot a single Zergling. The muta's still looking for an opportunity. Now here's the problem for soO. There is no hive tech. Once the 2-2 is finished, he's reached his maximum potential. Yeah, sure, he can build more Lings and Banelings, but his upgrades can't get any better. There was a scan. I'm not sure what he was scanning. He's looking for this base. He's looking for an army. He finds a base. soO's expanding everywhere. He has possibly the most mobile army composition, definitely the most mobile army composition in the game. These units move so fast, but they're so fragile. Lots of Lings and Banes. soO is maxed out. He's playing it like Heart of the Swarm, and honestly, so far, so is TY. He's working towards 3-3. The upgrades are even. The Widowmines burrow. They have Drilling Claws. The shots come out on the edge of the creep. TY has to pull back. Still some medevacs intact. There is a counterattack on the left side. TY pulls back to his 3rd. Maybe one more Widowmine. It'll drop down. He picks up the Thor in a hurt medevac, but he's got to get whatever he can. TY driven back. Another base goes down. The counterattack doing a lot of damage, but the natural is breached. Oh, the Muta! The mutas take some big Thor volleys. They're thinning out for now. They get into the main because there's a traitor Widowmine that was holding the ramp, but it still does a lot of damage. TY looking for the base trade. Has to scramble back. Down 60 supply. 46 to 75 workers. TY starting to stabilize, but Zerglings are in the 3rd. Zerglings looking for the 4th. The counterattack. He picks up what he can. The rest are left behind for the Zerglings. So TY is down, and he's seconds from being out. One bad fight. Oh, the mutas will find... what are they... Hellbats? He's looking for the medevacs. He loves his mutas, and they've gotten him this far. soO on the precipice of breaking through. He still has 73 drones. TY has 3-3 on the way. That's his last real hope here, is to put together a big enough army. The thing is, the muta count has grown again. He's lost 22, but he's still got 16. If TY can get 3-3, the supplies are a little misleading because the worker count is so low for TY, so the army values are a little closer. He can go straight for the turret. Gets it in 2 volleys. Meanwhile, soO is building a huge amount of Lings and Banelings at home. TY knows this. An infestation pit just now starts. He's just now working to unlock the next level of tech. That Widowmine drop is so important, and TY is going to lose. Oh, the Widowmines will try to burrow. They will not. Oh, that hurts. Things like that can scratch back. 3-3's coming up. TY. He's in the hole right now, but he has options. He needs 3-3 done. He has his +3 armor. Good spread. Where are the mines? He has 2 mines. That's it. He just lost a few with that drop. Here comes soO. He's trying to go for it. The Widowmine's holding their ground. Where are the Widowmine hits? Nowhere to be seen. And with it, TY's Marines. Nowhere to be seen. With it, soO. Bringing it to match point. We got one more. soO managing that. Like, that's his comfort zone. That's his wheelhouse right there. The counterattacks, perfectly timed. TY, I don't think he played poorly. It's just soO outmaneuvered him. There was no... Every time TY took a step forward, he had to take 2 steps back. soO showing what he's good at, what he's great at, and I don't know if TY is going to face him on those terms again. Like, if I'm TY Let's get back to the battle cruisers. Like. What a game. soO loves his mutas. All right. Game 5. I didn't think we would get there after those first two dominant performances from TY. soO with increasing muta confidence continues. Nightshade. Map 5. Two. Jimmy. Top left, TY for Triumphant Song Gaming. Bottom right, at Freaks, soO. It all comes down to this. This is the game where you do the direct counter to battle cruisers. Like, there's a whole lot of mind games at play now. I bet soO's so happy he got here. A pool first. But this is when, like, you know how much TY desperately wants to go battle cruiser. Every game that he's been able to cleanly get battle cruisers, he's won. Every game he hasn't, he's lost. Not a huge sample size, but it's pretty decisive. So right now, if you're soO, are you going to do like a straight up like pre-battle cruiser all in? Does TY try to use that mind game and it's so obvious he wants to go battle cruiser? Like, I'm excited to see the mind games, let alone the actual exchange here. Please don't be one of those game 5s that's just one person not scouting something and dying horribly in 6 minutes. Please. In a time of darkness for the Mutalisk, soO takes a muta risk. And he raises his muta fist in order to muta lift his chances at I am Catalisk. Oh, it got worse. Got worse as time went on. Just like mutas! Except when you're in a huge economic lead. The Zerglings sneak by. Based on the timing of the hatch, TY already knows this is a pull first. He's just trying to figure out if there's going to be a follow-up. Like, how many Zerglings are coming out? Is it going to be some sort of semi-all-in? Or... because he has to leave the Reaper at home. That's the benefit of the pull first. Our Zerglings are waiting for their moment. And once again, the pull first is just a different way of opening up. It's not really favored because it does leave you a little behind economically if the Terran responds perfectly. But it denies the Terran the opportunity to be that annoying guy with the Reaper, to shut down your first creep tumor, stuff like that. So... first two Hellions coming out to join up with the Reaper. The SCV stood guard, watching for Zerglings, and now will dutifully go home. And a Cloak upgrade. He's got Cloak Banshee. Oh, this is a mind game. So here's the scenario. It's so obvious that TY wants to go battle cruiser that it would be a great move for soO to go for a early all-in. But Cloak Banshees hit significantly before the time. Actually, soO's making links. This should do very little. Right? Okay. 3. I like the summary is I like the Banshee choice, but at this point, I think TY is going to be a little unhappy that he didn't go Cruiser because soO is not doing a big Roach all-in, a Roachling, Roach Ravager, whatever. So the Banshees have a lot of potential, but they don't have the stopping power in the sheer bulk of the battle cruiser. You have to respect the cruisers. You might not like them. In fact, you might have very strong feelings about them, but you have to respect them. Otherwise, you're going to be losing the game. Cloak Banshee comes in a split second before those spores come up. Finds a couple kills. Now, soO only has 40 drones right now. He's popping a few more out. But... Oh, wow. Okay, he almost lost it. If he loses that Banshee, that is... No, dun. Really? TY. Oh! Okay, everybody calm down. Calm down. Banshee uncloaks. Breathes a sigh of relief. We'll go home and be repaired. It's gonna be mech. He's gonna make it happen, but this time without the cruisers, which leaves a wide opening for a Muta risk. But TY is adapting by getting his armories significantly quicker, allowing him to have those stronger ground mech units here. Are we gonna see health clones, or is he gonna opt for siege tanks early? Oh. See what they do? Do you see what I see? soO is inspired to win this series. It will live. He will live or die on the very fragile Swiss cheese wing-covered backs of the mutas. Like, how do they fly with wings that have holes in them? That just seems... You feel like Abathur would have fixed that a while ago, but... I don't know if he has the skin that has that, but that just seems inefficient. And why do they flap their wings in space? Next thing you're going to tell me is this game isn't a historical documentary. It's just not very realistic and ruins my immersion. You know what else ruins my immersion? Zerg players defending anything. How does the Queen shoot further than a assault bomber? How is that even a thing? How is that fair? Anyways, 8 kills on those Banshees, so that's pretty amazing. A beautiful scan from TY. He's already building Thors, but guess what? He scanned the Spire, and he knows they were the right choice. And in fact, all the games he didn't build Thors nearly early enough. He's built Thors in every game, but not early enough. He's now making up for it by opening up with a couple Thors as his first 2 units. I love it. Meanwhile, he's roasting drones. soO still has a solid drone count, but we've got a mixed bag of upgrades over here. Baneling, well, not Baneling. The only thing we don't have is Baneling speed. +1 carapace. Roach speed. What was that, a Muta? No. Okay, yes, those were Mutas. The Banshee died. But 2 Thors will arrive. Is there an engineering bay? That answers that question. The armories are in a bit of a vulnerable location. Yeah. Surprise! Thor is here. And will this be the game where soO actually transitions out in a timely manner? Swarm host on the table. Swarm host Nidus. soO. Maybe it took a couple games of winning with other units to really embrace a strategy that would have some success against mech. The thing is now, he's dropping the hammer. Oh, this is a more old school mech style. The double Thor drop. Dropping it like it's hot. Dropping it like a Skrillex album in 2012. It's drop o'clock. TY VM. Thor is here. Does he have enough? Ravager's on the way. Hellbat's going to be a huge part of the front line. Already roasting drones. Boxing out the mutas with the Thor drops. Tanks can't fly. Well, tanks can't siege and fly. But Thors can. Okay, well. Is he gonna go into high impact? Boom, boom. But did he spot the Nidus? Oh, he saw the Nidus. He's looking. He's looking. He's not gonna find it in time though. The swarm hosts are gonna pop out. The siege will begin. But if he can get right underneath them, he can drag the swoops. Great micro. How does he even do that? I don't even know how you do that. The swoop should have gone to the Hellion. Like it's so hard to do. You have to be so fast because the locusts immediately want to. You can't actually control them till they're alive. So there's a tiny second while they fly up into the air to recontrol them before they drop down onto a unit that's right underneath. That was so important. Not that they didn't do anything. Okay, so it. Oh, by the way, TY, a genius. Thor drop, also a great counter to Nidus. Like, not only is it a good time... Well, you gotta not lose the Thors. But not only is it a great counter to Nidus, or Mutas, or... You know what? Thors are amazing. Just build Thors, okay? Everybody, just Thors. Put them in a medevac, put them in a stew, put them in their mineral line, put them in your mineral line, wherever they are, Thor should be there. Thors, we're everywhere. TM. Another Nidus? Where's that one? No, really, though. Did he build another one of his bases? Oh, he built on the high ground here. TY scans across the center of the map. He's got a sensor tower to zone out now. Alright. The missile's coming out. 2-2 is on the way. These upgrades, these mech upgrades. TY's maxed out at 10 minutes and 45 seconds with 2-2 finishing. Like, what? How are you going to stop this? He's rolling across the map. Corrosive Biles, I mean, what a joke. He shrugs it off. In fact, he just kind of slips out of the way. How are you going to stop this? TY is meching it happen. The Mutas find the only place without anti-air. I have no, like, oh my god, the +2 tanks blasting into the roaches. Locust coming in. They're not going to be going out. He might kill a tank, maybe get one Thor. Yeah, but how do you stop? There's so much supply in those swarm hosts that does nothing now. It's on cooldown. He thinned out the army a little bit, but reinforcements have arrived. Here comes the armored cavalry. He can, put up the Liberators. Corrosive Biles not finding the mark. Of course not. Thor's pounding through. Cyclones locking on. They have Magfield Accelerator. soO is pushed back. This base is ripe for the taking, and so is the series. This time, TY, instead of playing with the battlecruisers, just decided to max out as quick as possible. And this army, oh my god. There's still tanks firing. The Locusts will drop in, roasted. Some Corrosive Biles do decent work. More roaches on the way. soO has money in the bank, but if he had 300 supply, he could maybe think about beating this army. But right now, Roach Ravager just ain't cutting it. As the Thors blasting through, 11 drones go down with this base. The Hellions reinforce. A counterattack Nidus. What an optimistic dream he has. TY. A dominant force. You let him get his maxed out Thors. Like, soO still scrambling to figure out how to stop it. He has money in the bank. He's like, well, I gotta lose my units so I can make more. Might as well. He might actually win a fight. He Corrosive Biled down a bunch of his own Ravagers here. It looks like soO may hold. But at what cost? The Spore Crawler will move. He's lost so much. TY actually got whittled down there. I'm kind of surprised. I think soO started to realize how much of a bank he had and started just giving up Roaches and Ravagers to kill a handful of units. So, the game will go on. Wait, do we have a hive done? Everybody gets in. What? A hive is done. More Roaches on the way. I would love to see Vipers. Vipers! Where are the Vipers, soO? Why am I yelling at soO? I'm sorry, soO. He can't hear me. When he watches this cast, because he obviously will. You know what? Credit to soO. He's not dead. But he still has the problem of actually winning the game to solve. Oh, there's no tanks. There's no tanks, which means this army is going to be inordinately cost-effective. Cloak Banshees, though. Cloak Speed Banshees are on the way. Meanwhile, these two Hellbats are hunting down and killing the survivors of the immolation of this base. Hellclone still going around. TY has adapted into a much more mobile army. Speed Banshee, Hellion Cyclone. He actually only has one Thor, but one Thor to rule them all. One Thor to bind them. One Thor to pick up into a medevac, a drop down, and blind? Signed. Rind. Make a rind out of them. No. No. Now I'm hungry. The SCVs are on the run. TY is losing a surprising amount. I feel like a few tanks would really bring the whole room together. Liberator. Gonna just casually siege up. The corrosive bows are gonna be enough, but he actually caught the swarm host! He's blocking him out of the Dinos! What a play! No, you can't leave! He lost so many swarm hosts. He's now lost 17, the vast majority. He builds 12 more, so it's clear he obviously didn't want to lose those. soO is striking back. Like, TY doesn't have a bank. I'm talking like TY's winning the game, but he actually broke out. So, the thing is, it still feels like TY has the unit composition to beat. soO keeps scrambling. At some point, you can be cost and effective, but that point is not when you have 58 drones that aren't maxed out. Like, if you had 90 drones in 6 bases, yeah, make some banelings. Just keep whipping units at them. But, yeah. Losing infestors, only one fungal comes off. This base is down by default. How are you actually going to... He's one bad locust wave away from critical damage. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, he actually caught a Banshee. The Speed Banshees out of nowhere. Surprise! I've played my trap card. Oh, wait, they're corrupted. Anyways, he's killing a lot of roaches, though. This is a little awkward. TY not realizing the Nidus and the... Alright, so Banshee's over here. Corruptor's over there. Corruptor's actually slower than Speed Banshee, so they can't catch him. Locust going in towards the third. Bunch of Hellclone. Hatchery's gone. I don't know if the Roach Ravager wants to chase. soO... Oh, there's a fusion core. Better late than never. The Locusts actually crowd a bunch of the SCVs. Corruptors. Oh, but the Thor! Gonna tickle them. Deep tissue massage from those splash damage missiles. Corrosive bows to try to kill Banshees, which, I mean, it happened once, so why can't it happen again? The Corruptor should have been on the other side of the map. Cyclones on the hatch, whereas we got Banshees on the drones. The Banshees can finish the work the Cyclone started. And guess what? Here comes the neighborhood. Where are the Corruptors? A fungal at the back! He might be able to hold on to some of the Corruptors. The Hellclones do retreat. TY actually down. It's confusing. This entire game. The supplies are confusing. It feels like TY is winning, but soO always has more supply. That's probably because he has so many swarm hosts. He still has swarm hosts, right? He does. But, oh, the Banshees found the Nidus Swarm, though. Five Thors on the way. TY knows how to bring it home. 5 Thors. Heavy metal. There's a weird amount of mining on the map as well. Like, soO has 49 drones, which, not much. TY, 55 SCVs, which, still not much. Neither of them have many bases mining. Instead of a half-map scrap, we've got a slugfest, where everybody tries to grab for a few more minerals and gas before their base gets beaten back down. So, a Locust pop out, but he can fight those. The Lock-ons and the Hellion should be enough. The Thors actually, with their splash damage, do pretty well when they're in the air. The Cloak Banshees finding an opportunity, and surprise! He gets one fungal out, but doesn't find the mark. Oh, cloak and dagger. Except the daggers are two high-yield torpedoes fired from underneath a super-fast strike bomber. So, very good daggers is the summary. TY is maxed out with Thors. soO is also maxed out, but not with Thors. So, key difference. The Corruptor's still looking for an opportunity. soO has scrounged up a few more minerals for drones. There's a lot going on. What is all this noise? The Thors kind of handle it, but the Roach Bane looking for an opportunity. You ever seen a Hell Clone? Well, Cyclones aren't the hardest unit to split. Meanwhile, Roaches and Lings rebuilt by soO. TY is maxed out again. The Banshees having their taste of blood. Plenty of Thors is the backbone of this push. Deja vu, here we go again. This time it's Banshees instead of Liberators and Cyclones instead of tanks. Couple tanks in the mix. What is there to beat this? Here comes soO. He's maxed out. Wait, where are the swarm hosts? Where are the swarm hosts? They can come from behind. This might be the time. Okay, TY finds that Nidus. The Banshees are slaughtering drones. Like, what is the plan, soO? Where are the Vipers? Where are the Infestors? There's a Nidus on the other side. Like, at this point, TY can look at the minimap and see what he can't see, which isn't much. soO is bleeding out cost efficiency. He's lost 2,000 more gas and 4,000 more minerals. +3 armor across the board. Oh, a Dorito dusting anti-armor missile. Not that it matters much. The Thors pound through the Corruptors. This base is gone. What is the plan? soO is running out of mineral patches to work with. The swarm hosts are not getting it done. The Banshees, of course, uncontested, now that the Corruptors are blasted out of the sky. This is not a winning fight for the SCVs, but that's the only losing fight that TY can take right now. soO is out of option. Like, he's run through his bank. He's tried a whole lot of things and still coming up empty. The Locusts are getting less and less with every wave, if they get waves off at all. He's trying to target the Planetary. The Planetary not having it. TY's just got to bring the whole ensemble together. He's now solidly mining. soO is poor. And 2 battle cruisers into the production tab. soO is long distance. Like, desperation is almost an understatement. Like, the Cloak Banshees picking away anything they can get. The bulk of this thick 141 supply mech army thrusting through the map. The army fully upgraded, besides ship weapons, but Locusts flying in, an annoyance at this point. In the modern Terran civilization of TY, such pests are looked upon with disdain, but not fear. Another base, the only one that's trying to pretend to mine. TY, the chess master, is looking for checkmate, and I think we're seconds away. I have no idea how soO is supposed to beat this. He tried, he chipped away, but not nearly enough for it to crumble. Another round of Locusts, but what are they even? The Thors cut down their number to nearly nothing by the time they drop. They scratch the paint on a Thor. That's it. soO is mining, but what is there left? Thor. I feel this will end with 3 battle cruisers jumping onto soO's army. The Roach Warren is under fire. 3 battle cruisers are about to complete. TY, bring it home. It started with the cruisers. It will end with the cruisers. TY even pulling back for the moment. I choose to believe he's pulling back for that moment. The Hellions come in. There goes TY's entire economy. up. This is a metaphor for this game. He taps it out. Tell me there was a battle cruiser on it. He didn't even show the cruisers. It's all over. G, T, Y. 3-2. It looked like it, well, it looked like it was going to be 3-2. I mean 3-0. And then it very much didn't. But TY showing us. Well, he understands how to make it happen.